All right, oil is rallying, which is great, obviously for Calgary, but there were some articles in Bloomberg and these other places that the feeling out there is that Calgary and Alberta specifically are going to outperform all of Canada in 2018.
Yes, which is unbelievable, really. And and those are great articles, because there's some other articles. There's a trend right now in reporting where a lot of the major centers are firing their local reporters and local editors.
Right.
And all of the news reporting is happening in Toronto or in Vancouver at the head office. And it's easier to report on content that affects the whole country, because then every newspaper in every city can do it. So there's a lot of articles, whether it be published or whether it be in the news, that we see that might be housing's crashing here and it builds a false sense of negativity in a place where we're actually doing really, really good. So it was great to see some of those articles come out, to your point, being like, finally, you're right, like this is our province and our city, and like the numbers are looking pretty darn good.
Yeah. So there's lots of optimism for the Alberta economy, and we're starting to see little pieces of that. There are some companies still that have done some layoffs, and that was expected. As soon as the price of oil doesn't meet expectations or forecasts, you have to make some adjustments. But Alberta's really settled in here, and I think we're going to see, I hope we're going to see some decent stuff. I mean, the key is always make very smart, prudent financial decisions for the long term. Don't go out there and spend a lot of money, but just make sure that you guys are doing sound business practices. But I mean, things are looking up. It's basically everyone's saying for sure, we're out of recession.
Well, and you know what? And one of the nice things about what you just said too, in terms of really good growth moving forward, is that people have been forced to reevaluate their businesses over the past 2 years and position themselves to do very well in any type of economic climate, right? It's not just riding the high anymore. People really had time to look, make some decisions, scale back. So I think coming from that place moving forward is going to position businesses really good in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years once things do start coming back. Because I think that people have learned to do a lot more with a lot less. So as soon as things start getting good, I think, in terms of profitability, I think it's going to look good for a lot of businesses.
Yeah, I totally agree. And as for the real estate market itself, we're just going through everything you see. There's some red numbers on here, but this is just seasonal norms now. We're not seeing anything that's unexpected in terms of seasonality. So this is awesome. I mean, obviously, sellers, you obviously still need to be pricing according to the market, being aggressive. But I think sellers' expectations are in line now, and buyers' expectations are in line. And I think we're seeing some good stuff. The other thing I just want to mention is we are reporting on Chestermere now.
Yes.
We've added Chestermere into the stats.
The city of Chestermere.
The city of Chestermere.
I didn't know. I feel bad that I say who knew. Obviously, people knew, but I didn't realize it was a city.
Yeah, I apologize, Corinne Watson, who does a ton of work out there. But
I know.
Chestermere was actually way bigger than I thought it was, and I feel like it's next door to us. So I should have known, but I didn't know. So we're reporting on Chestermere, and our sundry stats have combined the CARA and the Krebs stats.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to make it more accurate. Sundry, just due to low volume overall, it's just, there's a smaller amount of residences.
When a sale happens,
it really, the numbers are still going to bounce around a bunch, but we are actually combining CARA, the Red Deer numbers, as well as the Krebs numbers for these stats.
Great.
So you guys will see a better picture. All right, let's take a look at the hard data. Let's take a look at the numbers here. Price of oil, let's take a look at the numbers again. Price of oil is way up, sitting at $49.77 versus $45.62. Canadian dollar is sitting at 80.45 cents US. And if you're watching your credit card statements, for those of you who get charged in Canadian dollars, it's looking a lot better than it used to be. So if you're considering making any US purchases, now's the time to maybe think about it as the Canadian dollar rallies based off the interest rate.
We should do an office pool. You know how people have like baby pools? Like what date, what gender? Mm-hmm. We should do an office pool on like when does it hit 85 cents? And then we can like have a map, and then people can bet $2 and we'll pick a date. What would your date be?
I guess I need to believe that it's going to hit 85 cents.
Well, if you don't, so it was a trick question, because that I was going to say, then we should get some U.S. money.
Right.
Backed into a corner.
Got it.
But it's a good, I think that you can make bets on that, by the way. Apparently you can make bets on all sorts of things on the internet.
Yeah. Calls and puts, and you can short anything. And currency exchange, you can do up to 10 times on your leverage. So
it's crazy.
Anyways, yeah.
Neither here nor there. Looking at the number of listings, Metro Calgary up, Red Deer's also up. Calgary sitting at 7,011 listings, and Red Deer at 708 and 68.
As for the Calgary months of inventory, again, I mentioned this, that we're going to see some red numbers across the board. Don't worry, seasonal norms still sitting in a, well, you know what's funny is that we've clipped over on the total into a slight buyer's market, and that is really driven by the condominium market again, but just slightly. So buyer's market overall officially, but again, that's just seasonality. So single family homes, sitting in a very balanced market, so again, 2.5 to 4 months of inventory being balanced, and condos obviously driving things up and slowing the market down a little bit with the excess inventory. Condos sitting at 6.28 months of inventory.
Looking at our surrounding areas, most things have stayed pretty close if you're looking at the numbers on the screen, just up or down very slightly from last week. Okotoks 4.3, Airdrie 4.6, Cochrane 5.19, Strathmore 6.13, Sundre 11.33, Chestermere 6.45, and Red Deer at 5.77 months of inventory. And our benchmark price, same as last week, $441,500. We should see a change in that. Next time we come to our meeting, we'll be able to talk about that different number.
Absolutely. Make sure Krebs is sending out their stats package tomorrow. Read through it, take a look, glance at the stats daily, review them weekly, dig in each and every month.